Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Monday, June 26th, and what a wild 4 or 5 days we've had beginning last Thursday or so, and we got another wild period coming up later on this week, and that could bring more aggravating to the flooding across much of mid-Michigan, as many areas could see over 2 inches of rain. So the headlines basically: cleanup and repairs will continue. Some of the roads may be indefinitely closed, and it could be weeks for many of the other roads to be repaired. So it's going to be a kind of a long, drawn-out process trying to get those roads up in Isabella and parts of Midland County back together. And you can see a more significant rains are going to be possible later this week as warm air begins to move towards the area. Now for today, we'll have a cold pocket of air aloft, and we'll have some surface heating that allow for afternoon and evening showers or a thunderstorm to develop. And some of the stronger ones could produce hail again, maybe some pea-sized hail. And again, most areas won't see a lot of rain, but if you get under one of these storms, it could rain pretty heavily here in a short period of time. And you can see the extended outlook. What do we have here? Nice warm summer weather coming, but more rain, above normal precipitation, as we're in a fairly transient pattern, but we're going to see more in the way of a heat ridge begin to develop, and that should again allow us to see plenty of 80-degree temperatures here over the next couple of weeks. Just got to get past a couple more cool days here. And again, we'll watch for those storms later on this week. We could potentially see many areas pick up between 2 and 4 inches of rain across the area. You can see some of the highlights. We had 10 to 15 inches of rain in some parts of the area. Over 90 roads at the height of the storm were either closed or washed out. One bridge was at least washed out. US 27 northbound was closed for a short period of time. We had many spots along M20 that were closed, hundreds of abandoned cars everywhere, thousands of acres of mid-Michigan crops underwater for several days. And again, stay out of the Chippewa, some raw sewage from the overflow there. And Chippewa crested at 100-year floodlight levels, and that's the second time we've seen that kind of flooding in Isabella County and in Midland County. The last one 31 years ago, back in 1986. And you can see some of the Doppler radar estimates: 10 to 15 inches of rain, probably around 10 to 12 inches of rain in many of these areas. And again, a large area of heavy rain throughout Isabella and Midland County, northern Montcalm, and also northern Gratiot County. And again, some of these roads are going to be closed for a long time. This particular road was posted closed, and somebody either didn't see it, but certainly I'm sure regrets that. Hopefully he didn't get hurt, or she didn't get hurt. And if we look at, again, some of the 72-hour totals, just very impressive, over around 8 inches of rain, again, between Mount Pleasant and Midland. This picture taken at Cullivers over in Midland. And we got another picture of significantly washed out roads. This one, Loomis Road between Rosebush. And then you got another picture of the main drag near the Midland Mall. And again, another pretty significant washout on Loomis Road, south of Coleman Road. And then this would be some of the ball fields up near Sanford. Again, lots of flooding throughout much of mid-Michigan. This is some of the rainfall that we had, as high as 7.35 inches here in Breckenridge. This is our locations. And again, you don't have to only go about 4 or 5 miles north of Breckenridge, and you can add about 3 to 5 inches of rain on top of that. And again, so far we're about 277% of the normal rainfall for June. And you can see certainly washed away for the most part is any kind of extreme dryness. Although you certainly are very dry as you get down towards Blissfield or towards Nowego and at Henderson. Again, when you consider the 56 days ending yesterday across the area, there are still some areas, believe it or not, that really need some rain. And I think those areas will get some rain with that weekend or the late week system. And again, here are some of the rainfall totals across the area and a graphical look at that. This particular picture is a soybean field that was over near Poseyville Road. And if we look at the next screenshot, you can see temperatures this morning in the 60s to low 70s, so a very warm, sticky day out there. And if we look at the current advisories, you can see Pine River near the Alma area now added to the flood warning, along with the Chippewa in Isabella County and the Tittabawassee over in Midland County as well. And if we look at the radar this morning, you can see we've got another upper low. This should be the last one. It's going to pivot down across that with that big trough in place. Once that pivots through, we'll have some nice sunny weather on Tuesday. But again, later on this afternoon, we'll see a lot of pop-up storms. And again, some of those could be on the strong side, and they could produce some briefly locally heavy rainfall and even some small hail. And if we look at the forecast from later on today, again, you can see this upper low that's going to pivot down through the area and move off to the east. Will give us one more shot of afternoon showers and a thunder shower. And as we move into Tuesday, you can see the warm front that's going to rapidly move this way as the high moves off to the east. And by Wednesday morning, you can see severe weather and heavy rains will be moving in from the southwest. And as that moves towards the area, the front will be draped. Low pressure system will move along it, and that'll bring some heavy rains as we get into Wednesday night and Thursday morning. And then again, that being with the warm air, and then again as we get into later Thursday into Friday, as that cold front begins to move through the area, you can see the significant amount of rain of 2 inches or more in many locations. In some areas back towards the west, up to 4, 5, 6 inches of rain. And again, where the actual heaviest rain is, we got several days to watch this. Could be, yesterday the models had much of mid-Michigan in the 4-inch plus range. And again, so we got a couple more days before that system gets here, and things could change. So we're going to want to keep a close eye on that. But again, the idea is that some very significant rainfall, 2 batches as it looks now. Again, one with the warm front, and then another one out ahead of the cold front with the low pressure system moving across the area. And for the forecast, you can see the areas we're highlighting for the significant rain and severe storm opportunities be for later Wednesday, late afternoon or evening into the night, and then right on through Friday as it looks right now. And again, temperatures warming up closer to 80 as we get into Thursday and Friday. And again, I think we see some pretty warm air moving in again as we begin to open up the first week of July. Thanks for stopping by, and have yourself a great day, a great work week, and 73s to all.